day 29 of the Fello 30-day listing challenge. And without my assistance this week, at least for a good half the week, so I'm just pushing paper and following up with my buyers, because those have the strongest prospect of actually closing right now compared to anything else I have. My most viable assets are either under contract or going under contract very, very soon, whereas other things will linger. And interestingly, my commercial sublease opportunities are actually doing quite well. Usually, I used to think that people put them online and they'll just linger there forever, but no, people need little rooms and, rooms with showers in it, barber chairs, with shared head sinks. These things are in demand, and there is a market for basically everything, So never, ever, ever think that a listing is too small. You never know who you're going to meet. I met some pretty cool people just looking for a little room, and meanwhile, they're not so little themselves, So a lot to be said about that, interesting cast of characters in my universe. Again, today was really just a lot of follow-ups and pushing paper and rectifying some things, because I am taking exception to my brokerage's interpretation of the NAR settlement. This is causing a lot of problems for people, and it is certainly grinding my gears. That settlement, I think, is going to get challenged, and it's going to get blown away, because any attorney with any brains could have defended this situation for the National Association of Realtors, although they can't get out of their own way because they do act like a monopoly, whether you like it or not. So, at least in my opinion, they do. The fact that, for instance, that I have to adhere to this thing, that's a monopoly, right? Because I can't go anywhere else. I can't get my listing. I can't get an MLS anywhere else. They have, effectively a monopoly, and they're enforcing rules. Now, the NAR settlement, in my view, does not, and again, it's according to what I'm also reading off of other websites, for other realtor organizations. Variable commissions have to be disclosed. It doesn't mean it's totally null and void, can't do it anymore, And then there's the question of, for instance, I have a situation where the seller gave me 6 listings and said, well, I'm going to give you 4.5, and out of that, you're going to offer 2. And if you source it yourself, you're going down to 3.5. Is that okay? And I said, yes. Well, my brokers have taken exception with that. And so what we're telling them is that this NAR rule, National Association of Rules, it's not a law, right? This is not law. This settlement is abridging, if not, against, basically it's saying you cannot contract the way you wish to, is what we're telling the seller. And I think that is just unbelievable. And I think this is going to manage to blow up in NAR's face somehow, some way, even though it might free us up in other ways. You know what? They just can't ever get out of their own way, which is why you see in the shuffling and management and all of this. They're just, again, these people, I don't think they know what they're doing. I really don't. I don't see how we could have lost the case. For instance, they're saying, well, the sellers are paying the commission. Wait a minute. The buyer's the one bringing the money to the table. The buyer's the one paying the listing broker's commission, if you ask me. That seller could have gone with a flat fee listing broker, and still we would have been able to reach them and find them, whether it was on Zillow or whatever. Because let me tell you something. It's the buyer's agent that bought that lead, okay? Listing broker didn't do us any favors, okay? So I don't know how they came to this or whatever, but, there's a million ways to Tuesday to argue the other direction. And they should have just left well enough alone, is where I'm standing with that. So anyways, I will go into this in a whole great amount of depth in another video. But for right now, today, so ends the Fello 30-day listing challenge, day 29. I am on my way to one such commercial sublease where I have a room being leased by somebody, and I actually have to take a picture of a couple of the chairs that for barbers. So that way I can give it away to my friend Glenn, who is going to be doing my hair. Because I got a lot of hair. I'm going to need him, However, he's bald. And didn't they ever say never trust a bald barber? I don't know. He seems like he knows what he's doing. I've watched him work. So, anyways, we'll see all about that. Anyways, remember to live vibrantly, okay, and be tickled pink to be here. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.